because then we understood this game is not about smashing. It's not about power, it's more strategic and it's more about the slow game. So there is a shot called dinking. It's like a really slow shot. It seems easy, but it's the most difficult shot of the game.
Oh.
So it's just totally different game. Like I haven't seen a similar game.
Wow. Hey Zesties! Welcome to the Gleeful Talkshow, where we share zesty stories to cultivate the happiness and hero within. In today's episode, we are going to learn about a new sport called Pickleball. It's been around since 1965 in the US, and it has taken Australia by storm in the recent years. We're also going to learn how it is being played in a competitive sport with your partner. What's more special in this episode is that we will be learning about pickleball from the 2021 New South Wales Open champions themselves. A link is provided in the episode notes of all their achievements, Zestie, so be sure to check it out. And not to mention that both are also qualified pickleball instructors. So alright, without further ado, welcome today's guests, Sueme and Deborah. Hi, Sueme and Deborah. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in here and congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
So yes, pickleball. This sport is not that much known yet in the mass media, and this episode will also help our zesties, our listeners, to have a bit of overview about the sport. And then you could share your experiences and some tips to them if they want to try it out. So first off, what is pickleball?
It's a cross between badminton, table tennis, and tennis. Like it's a mixture of all the racket sports. And yeah, the different thing about this sport is it's really social. When you get into tennis or you get into badminton, it's so much competitive. This sport at the same time being competitive, it's also a really social sport, because you're playing, let's say, at tennis on a badminton-sized courts, and mostly you play doubles. So all four players are really close to each other, and it just becomes a really social sport.
Yeah, pickleball is a quite new sport in Australia or in the world in general. Only in US have been around for around 40 years now.
1965, I think.
Yeah,
But still, it's a long one in the US already.
Yes.
But maybe
yeah,
here
but it's
in-
not so famous in all the rest of the world. But yeah, there is a lot of the players wants that pickleball gets into the Olympics one day. So there is a lot of talk about it, and it's a really good sport because it gets people from all ages. So you can have kids playing, you can have young people playing, you can have also more senior people playing on the sport, which is something different from other type of sports. And yeah, as Sume said, is a cross between badminton, tennis, table tennis. There are some elements of squash as well in it, and it's quite interesting. We play with a paddle that is similar to paddle, maybe. Can be this
Yeah, it's called
kind.
paddles, not rackets.
It's not a racket,
okay.
it's a paddle because it doesn't have strings, okay? There are different shapes, can be more rounded or more oval or more squared. Normally, a classic standard paddle is like this, so more squared. You can have little
Elongated paddle, like people
that.
who come from tennis background, they prefer a little bit more reach for their drives, a little head heavy. So
Yeah. So the material can be slightly different. Some are in carbon fiber, some are in honeycomb.
there are many different
But-
materials.
And is it a light or heavy?
So yes, actually difference, there is a lighter paddle which is around 7.5 ounces, starts from 7.5, and you can get till 8.6 or 8.8 ounce paddle. So it feels not so much difference. It's just few grams here and there. But yeah, when you play for longer time, you can feel it if it's a heavy paddle or light paddle.
Yeah, respect 10 is more of a wrist movement. Also, a couple of ounces more. It can
Yes.
make a difference in your shots. So normally, women prefer to have a lighter paddle, and the men's goes for a little heavier paddle. But at the end, it's up to the person. It's preference
Yes.
choice. The ball is not like a tennis ball, it's made in plastic, so it's really light.
If you've seen a baseball, the training baseballs, the plastic ones, so it's exactly similar material.
And then, so the length of play, how many the time points?
Yep, so it's a 1 game to 11 normally. And when you go into the tournaments, you play best of 3 to 11. So it's like win by 2 points to 11.
Ah, okay. How do you how is it win by 2 points?
So win by 2. So like normally the team who gets to 11 first wins, but there has to be a 2-point difference. If it's a 10-10, the team needs to get to 12 to win the game. So it has to be a 2-point difference.
So the server gets the point, or depends? Is it like some
yes,
badminton?
it's like only service team can score.
Okay, and then how does it play normally in a court? Is it like front and back or side by side? Is it, or depends on the strategy?
Yeah, okay. There are some rules, some specific rules. When you are serving, the first ball you receive back in your side of the court needs to bounce. So normally both the partners in doubles tend to stand back because they need to wait for the ball to bounce and then they can go forward. While instead, if you are in the receiving team, normally you have already a person in front and another one in the back that will be the one receiving the ball because the serve will be cross-court, similar to tennis. So yeah, that's how is the arrangement. So if you're a receiving team, you have one back, one front, but only for that particular ball of the serve, and then you try to come forward because you want to play at the net. If you're the serving team, you start both back, but then you try to make your way up.
Yeah. But I hope we don't want to bore you with all the details.
Yeah.
It's more fun to be on the court.
Yeah, we will show our Zestie some on our Instagram page on how it is being played.
Yep.
So that's why it's good that that's the overview. So we want our listeners to get to know you guys. So first of all, why did you pick pickleball as your game of choice?
I think it's the reason that it's so much social and the community. So it's just so much welcoming. If you go to another sport, I don't know if it's everyone just wants to win or it's so much competition. But when you get into a pickleball community and it's just everyone so much welcoming and happy to help. So that social aspect for me, it's that social aspect. That's why I chose pickleball.
Yeah, the social aspect is for sure really important, and there is a really big sense of community, and it's just so crazy that you can play with people of different age. Well, it doesn't happen so often in tennis. Badminton, there are some social sessions, but still is not quite the same. Pickleball really keep everyone together, and
yes, the whole family can play. Like you can have the whole 3 or 4 generations playing on the same court. So you can have a 90 years old grandfather playing his grandkid on the same court and still be competitive with each other because the court size is smaller. So the thing you need is hand-eye coordination, and maybe if you played tennis or badminton when you were younger and now you have knee trouble or anything and you get onto the pickleball court, you still got all the shots.
Yeah, wow,
That's amazing.
Yeah, very amazing, and yeah, everyone can at least play it for fun or competitive.
Competitive as well.
Yeah. So when did you guys start playing pickleball?
I think 2018.
Yeah.
One of the times we were playing badminton and we wrapped up our session. And after our session, we saw all these players playing this with this stupid plastic ball. And we were like, what the hell is this? And we asked, what is this? And they said, it's pickleball. And it's really good. You should join us. We're like, okay. We got back home. Next week, same time, we're playing badminton after a session. This again, people playing the sport. And that time, all these people were like in 50s or 60s.
Oh.
And we're like, what is this? Can we join you? We joined them. We thought we'll smash them. We're young, we'll beat them. And we lost like 11-0, 11-0.
Oh.
Because we thought, it's the same like badminton. We could hit a ball, but we lost. And not once, like twice, thrice. And actually for a few weeks, we kept on going because we didn't understand why were we losing. Because then we understood this game is not about smashing. It's not about power. It's more strategic. And it's more about the slow game. So there is a shot called dinking. It's like a really slow shot. It seems easy, but it's the most difficult shot of the game.
Oh.
So it's just totally different game. Like I haven't seen a similar game.
Wow.
Yeah, it happened of by accident in a way. Like we were there to play badminton, and we just saw this group of people coming on the court, and these weird paddles and this weird ball, and now maybe I can get a ball later. It just makes a really weird noise when the ball touches the paddle. So it was like, which game is this? So at the beginning we thought maybe it's paddle, but we remember that paddle was in a cage or something different.
Paddle
so
tennis.
Like, that cannot be. Then we just asked, and they were quite happy to have us on board. See, also that was another thing. Like, you never happened that you go to play tennis and someone invite you to play. Pickleball, we were just there staring at them, basically, just
and they
watching.
Just said, why don't you join us? And they gave us paddles, balls, equipment.
Why next time you don't come and try?
Yeah.
They didn't have any problem in that. They were happy to have us. And that was...
And so how many clubs or communities in Queensland now, pickleball?
Oh, it's growing really fast. So we finally, last week, we got 1,000 registered Queensland members. And we've got clubs in Noosa, Gold Coast, Brisbane Pickleball Club, which is the biggest club, I would say, in Australia.
Townsville, Berby Island.
Yeah, Townsville, Cairns.
These are only the one I know of. There might
but
be
there are so many. There is Redland Bay
Redland
Club.
Bay has their own club now as well. Plus, in some places there are more than one. Like Gold Coast, for example, has 3
clubs.
But yeah, they're just booming around.
Wow.
So
yeah, it's growing so fast, and for a fact, it's the fastest growing sport in the world right now. And there are more than 4 million players playing only in USA. And they've got like public courts. Like you go to the Florida, they've got these villages where they've got 40 public courts. And recently, Brisbane Council has put public courts.
Oh, where is that?
So we live in North. We've got one public court in Nanda Park. Then there are some in Boondall. Then there is one in Brackenridge. So now Brisbane Council has seen the growth in this sport, and they've realized to put the courts in the public parks.
Wow.
So it's great. You could just go out and you don't have to pay for the court, and you can play for free.
There is also one in West End, actually.
Yes, actually, there is one in West End. There's 2 courts in West End, actually. The council has put the permanent lines. So you just go, bring your own net, and you put it and play. They've got the permanent lines.
Oh, wow. And it's near me, so it would
Yes,
be...
it'd be good for you.
Try it out.
They normally play in the early morning. But
Oh, yeah, sometimes we
The
plan
early
Friday early morning
part is
session.
the hard part.
That's the hard part.
So yeah, 2018 you've started, and 3 years down the line, you're now like champions of New South Wales, and you've also won some championships prior to this. So what drives you to go training every day, especially with your day-to-day job?
I think it was a transition. So we played first Australian Nationals in 2018, which I was the champion in the men's and she was the champion in women's.
Yeah.
And we both, I think, got silver in the mixed.
Yeah.
It was like a new thing. Oh, we are good at this. And then like slowly, and then we don't like going to the gym. So we thought, why don't we love this sport and use it as a physical exercise? Like instead of going to the gym, this is more fun. You after work, you go a couple of hours and play pickleball, and it's amazing. You get your workout done.
Yeah.
And we just started doing it as a workout, everyday workout. And then we just got better, and we thought, okay, let's play all the tournaments.
And because when you go to the gym, like there are some people that love gym, okay, don't get me wrong, but normally you go to the gym and you just feel all the fatigue of the gym, like all the weightlifting and the running and the sweating, and you just feel really tired afterwards. Pickleball is different, because pickleball you are playing something that you actually like, and you don't feel your body being stressed about. You just enjoying playing, and you don't realize it's already 2 hours you are just running on the court non-stop.
Yeah.
And at that point, those are calories that are, that counts, and you are getting fit without.
There is only
thinking
one
about
problem with pickleball. It's
addictive.
It's addictive. It's like a chocolate. Once you stop eating, you can't stop. It's really addictive.
That's a good
It's really
one.
addictive.
Yeah. And how do you manage? Because you both play, right? How do you manage playing competitively as a team and as a couple? Like how?
Oh, it was hard. It was really hard at start. We would fight all the time on the court, and then I realized like I have to keep my mouth shut on the court. And I think it's problem with all the couples. Like we fight. Like
we have friends that they don't play together.
Yeah, I know many people in like the
because-
couples who don't like to play together. They would like to they pair up with others.
But because we spoke to them and we tried to compare what were the thinking behind it.
And it was same.
So
same in all
not
the
really,
couples.
not really the same. Some couples were not happy to play together as a team because they were scared to let down their partner, which I found was a really sweet way to see. For me and Sueme is different. We get grumpy at each other on the court because we're expecting a lot from each other.
Yeah, we are both
So,
really competitive.
The thing is that if we're playing with just a friend or a stranger and he's making a mistake, I would not care because I would not care and you cannot complain. But if it is Sueme making a mistake on the court, then I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
then we
So
would fight.
that was the problem with us. We had a really high expectation. Like you adjust, like it's already 3 years after, and now we learned that more than getting grumpy or start complaining, it's better to be supportive. That's for every team sport in reality. You are supporting and you will get better results. And it's actually nice in a way when you are a couple and you are also teams together on the court. You have a better understanding of what your partner is gonna do because you know him that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very you've crossed that line that you've overcome that challenge in the first
Yes.
part of challenge of playing as a couple,
Yeah.
and now you're stronger than ever. And so, what challenges have you met, and how did you overcome them to get to where you are today?
I think when you play competitive like this pickleball, like many people who wants to play social, they just wants to play games and they get on the course. Let's play games and get it done with. And now we are so much into it. We want to win tournaments and we actually go and we don't play games. We work on specific shots. We do a lot of drills. Like we spend, let's 2 days of the week, we'll just do drills. We'll
There is also some sort of studying behind because it's a new sport. So for us especially, it's quite difficult to find someone that can teach you something now. It's quite easy to find someone that can teach you the basics, okay? Because there are some people that have a teacher certificate and they can teach you the rules and you can learn how to play. But when you are getting really good at it and you want to compete in tournaments, it's not anymore about knowing the rules. It's having a strategy behind and no one can teach you that.
unless you're in US because they have
pros
and
some pros that they
there
have
are people there playing
workshops.
full-time pickleball, like they left their jobs, and this guy I saw used to be a finance banker and stuff, and he just left his job to play full-time pickleball.
Yeah, but there are not people like that in Australia right now. You need to do a little bit on your own. So you watch YouTube videos, you try to see what the pros in US they're doing. You try to replicate that. You put in slow motion to see how they hit the ball and try to replicate that. So there is a little bit of
still a new
studying
scene,
and trying different things. And we used to have some rivalry between some other teams, and we were not able to, and we were not able to beat them. And then we tried different stuff, and now we're not losing anymore.
Wow. So since we've talked about a little bit of the playing, can you perhaps show us a little bit on it's the space is so small, but we can maybe just about the sound as well that you mentioned.
So this is when the ball
do you have the
bounces.
ball?
I can get a ball.
Yeah, a ball.
This is the From Scratch Body. I'm Liv Austin and I believe that anyone can cook. Since being diagnosed with endometriosis, I have been on a journey to find out what food makes me feel great. By cooking my meals from scratch, not only have I started feeling much better, I've also fallen in love with cooking completely. So every week we explore a new topic that can help us feel better and become better cooks, and then I share a recipe with you so you can cook along with me if you want. You can always find the recipes and the transcripts from the podcast on my website, thefromscratchbody.com. Listen to the From Scratch Body wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. So Deborah and Sueme try to show us a little bit. Okay. This is the ball. Maybe you could show a little bit on the camera.
Well, as you can see, it's made in plastic, basically. There are some holes in it. Depends if it is an outdoor or indoor ball. The holes can be bigger or smaller. But it's made in plastic. It's absolutely light. But yeah, it makes a weird sound on the paddle when it gets hit. See? It's actually a quite noisy sport. We got a few complaints a couple of times because we were playing at night from some buildings.
Neighbors.
But yeah, if you play during the day, there is no issue at all. I think in reality it's not much louder than squash or other racket sports. It's just that it's different, so some people...
Yeah, because it's new, they don't know the sound. Yeah, exactly. And in terms of your pickleball career so far, what's the biggest surprise you've had in the few months, and why do you think so?
I think the biggest surprise is that we are basically national champions or Queensland champions.
Yes. We won national, I think, once.
That we arrived seconds. We in the 2019 nationals we arrived second in our age bracket. So yeah, we are national champions somehow. So yeah, it's really surprising that with just 1 year of training you can be really good.
Because it's so easy to pick up. Like in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you're already playing your first game.
And yeah, obviously, if you have a racket background, it's much easier
it
to
translates
pick up.
really easy into pickleball.
But you don't need to be a
sports
champion.
background.
Like you can, like me and Sueme were playing social badminton. I used to play tennis when I was a kid. I used to do competition of badminton in high school. So it's not really that I didn't do any racket sports. I have a racket sports background. Sueme played, I think, a fair amount of badminton, but
just
never
badminton,
played
never
tennis.
touched tennis.
So it's not necessarily that if you were a champion in tennis, you're gonna be a really good pickleball player. For sure, it's gonna help, but you can also be coming from dancing or swimming and be an excellent pickleball player.
Yeah, we have really good players who came from volleyball.
Yeah.
And still they're really good pickleball players.
Yeah.
It's just mix of all these sports.
And I guess to me, like I know Sueme from work, so I know that he trains a lot. You guys train a lot, so it's not a surprise for me.
So for me, I used to hate going gym. I still hate going gym. But now we are so much addicted to pickleball. I started having these injuries because I was playing 7 days. So I went to the physio and he said, you know what? Your body is not trying to play 7 days a week or 6 days a week. You need to train your body if you love this sport to play 7 days a week if you want to play 7 days a week. So now I started going training, like I started going to gym because I want to be fit so I could play more pickleball. So it's just the more addiction.
Well, to be fair, also in other sports, when you start being really competitive, you need to do some physical training together, right? Yeah, we are just starting to introduce some gym exercise to try to get better in what we're doing.
Yeah, that's great. And in the future competitions, it will be...
Well, I think it already worked. In New South Wales, we were really fit, I feel.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, and with that, I also wanted to ask, so how was the game in Sydney last week? Because you played Queensland Open, I think, last year.
Oh, yes.
And then how was it different, like the set of players? Or?
Yes, because when we went to last time in Queensland, there was like I think lockdown, so we had all the teams only from Queensland. But now when we went to the Sydney, it was the biggest tournament yet in Australia because we had 197 participants. So it was the biggest pickleball tournament in Australia yet. We got to play teams from Tasmania, from Adelaide, and all from Newcastle. So there was teams from everywhere. So that was the good part.
But yeah, it's interesting how things can change really fast. We had the Queensland tournament, the Queensland Championship in November, and now this was the first tournament in the new year, let's say. And teams that you faced in November, they are changing a lot. They are not doing the same things. So it's like you are always changing what you are doing on the court. So yeah, no, it was a good challenge. Some games maybe were a little easier, some were a little harder. But yeah, we had a good fun.
Hi there, Zestie. Enjoying the conversation? Please don't forget to subscribe and rate this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, or wherever you listen to your pods. You can also follow the show on Instagram and YouTube, where I share clips and highlights of the episode. Now, back to the regular program. Oh, great. And for you guys, how do you continue to learn to stay on top of your game aside from doing your office job?
I think we just gotta keep changing our strategies, not get too comfortable. Like, yeah, I think that's the thing. If you get comfortable, you get overconfident, and that's the time you go downhill. So you just gotta keep on top of it, and see what your competitors are doing and learn from them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess your consistency as well in
Yes,
the
exactly.
training. Because even though you're good at it already, then you have to just be consistent, I guess.
Yes,
That's what your guys
exactly.
are doing now. Like
Yeah.
you're doing gym after work and stuff. Yeah. And is there someone in the pickleball industry that you would like to have a match to?
Several people.
Oh, there are
probably.
so many players, like especially the players from US, because they are another level. They've been playing so many years, and
I think it would be nice once all this coronavirus situation will be solved to have a trip to US and
play in
maybe,
US Open.
well, that would be nice. Also do some clinic maybe with some of the pros. And we got lucky that in 2019 we had actually a pro player from US coming to Brisbane.
And we learned a
And
lot.
we learned a lot from him. But yeah, I think it would be really a great opportunity to go to US and have a proper clinic maybe for a couple of days, 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really nice, yeah.
Something to look forward to after this whole thing.
Let's hope.
Exactly.
Okay. So as athletes, our zesties are very new to pickleball. They want to learn from you and maybe your mantra in life. So what is your mantra in life or life in general?
We have some, like I can speak for me. When I start pickleball, pickleball was not in the plan. For me, still my primary objective is my career. I'm an accountant, so I'm starting my CA certification now. So in the future, I would like to progress in that, maybe become a manager or a partner in a public practice firm or maybe open my own one. Yeah, that would be nice. That's still remain my primary objective. Then if pickleballs continue to be this nice hobby and we get better at it, why not? Like I would not say no to become a pro player. It could be for sure something I would consider it. But yeah, I would say objective in life still is having my career progression in accounting.
Yeah. All right. To me, if you want to add anything.
I just want to be happy, and I'm happy right now playing pickleball, working Monday to Friday, full-time job, and then going back to pickleball, playing 7 days, and yeah.
Yeah. Live in the moment.
Yes, exactly.
The life. All right. So guys, I have some fun, silly questions that you do not know about. Okay, not related to pickleball though. I guess for this one, maybe Sueme could go first and then Deborah, because the thing is that this is about, I know you were a DJ before.
Oh, yes.
So, okay, what song would you play if you were at a party?
I was at a party, and if I want to ask a DJ to play a song, oh, there are too many.
Top of your head, like.
I know she won't like it, but I like Pitbull.
What was that?
Pitbull songs.
Okay.
And she hates because we have a really different choices. She likes more, I don't know, lyrical or slow music, or I don't know.
I like more.
And I'm more into
relaxing
beats.
music.
That's DJs. So I'm more into
yeah.
EDM or all the concerts, or like more Tomorrowland music.
Still, Pitbull is quite trashy.
See?
How about Deb?
For a DJ?
What song would you want to play if you're at the party?
I think I will Sam Smith with.
I think I'm more of a
Sam
as
Smith.
well.
Sam Smith with what was Meeting a Stranger. That's something I like. Yeah.
That's
And then so another one. Okay, if you had the power to shrink anything and take it with you, what would it be and why?
Interesting.
You go first, then I get the time to think.
My house and my grandparents and some of my friends.
Me too. It's like if I could take my home or something with me and then bring it here, why not?
Yeah, for me also, I think either family, friends. If I can bring it here in Brisbane. I love Australia. The thing I miss it misses food and the people.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, especially me as well. I just Like my husband and I just arrived last 2019, and just the both of us, we don't have anyone here. So yeah, I could totally relate. All right, and next question. If you won a trip to go anywhere on Earth, where would you go?
I would go in a safari in Africa. I would like to see lions, bears, and all these things. So,
Well, I want to visit Italy because I've heard so much about now.
yeah, obviously also Italy is in the plan.
Yeah, but for the food.
about my family.
And another place I want to go is Stamford Bridge. I'm a big Chelsea fan, so I want to go and watch Chelsea play there.
Not exciting.
Not exciting. Hey Zestie, what do you think of this episode? I'd be very happy to hear from you. You may send your feedback to gleefultalkshow@gmail.com or rate us on the podcasting platform of your choice. Comment or tag us on Gleeful Talkshow social media. See ya! Alright, thanks for playing that little silly game. Before we wrap up, so would you like to promote your next games or just promote your social media accounts?
I would like to thank my sponsors or our sponsors. We recently got a sponsorship and which is really helpful, like the support when you go to these tournaments. It can get expensive. They pay for our flights, accommodation, for the equipment. So this sometimes the equipment can cost a lot and we need the sponsors to support it, especially if you're playing 7-8 tournaments in a year. So yeah, I would like to thank my sponsors, which is Total First Home Owner Solutions or Total First Home Solutions. And yeah, I really think they're really genuine people and they help people to buy their first home.
Yeah, we would like to thank our sponsors, and yeah, they do a great job. Basically, they are intermediaries for first home buyers. So if you want to buy your first home, basically they build it for you and they help you to get a grant from the government. So in that way you can get your house in a cheaper way and still keep some of your savings, and there is no need of a deposit. So it's really changing lives for some people. We would do it ourselves as well, but right now is still not the right time, but we will do it eventually in the future to buy our first home. And yeah, so they're doing a great job, and the owner of the company is also a pickleball player.
And because we trust in them, we trust in the company. We know many people who got sponsored, but they got sponsored by the paddle companies in US and States. And we wanted to get sponsored, but we wanted to get sponsored by an Australian company. And so we're really happy.
Yeah, great. And so any next games to come?
Yes, we've got next tournament in Noosa, so on 30th May. Okay. So it's called Noosa Classic Open. So yes, now we are training for that tournament. Then we have got another tournament in April, somewhere in April. It's at Gold Coast. It's gonna be on the Currumbin, and they've got 8 new permanent courts marked. So excited for those.
And so any social media accounts so that our Zesties can follow you or check you out?
For now, we don't have we just have our normal Facebook and Instagram account. My Instagram account is 93_Debbie.
And mine's called DJ Sueme.
And then if our Zesties would like to reach out to a pickleball community, where can they find it? Like website?
Oh yes, they can just Google it, and if they write pickleball, they will find thousands of videos on YouTube as well. But if they are in Australia and they want to get in touch with someone from the clubs, they can write Brisbane Pickleball Club or Noosa Pickleball Club or wherever they are. They can check if there is a pickleball club nearby. Just Google it and you will find it. Or you can try on Facebook as well. Most of the clubs now, they have a Facebook page anyway.
Or you can just reach out to us.
Or you can just reach out to us.
And we'll be happy to get you a game or do a come and try session with you.
Awesome. But yeah, thank you guys for coming into the show. It was really insightful, fun, and very informative, especially for me, and I'm sure the Zesties as well. So thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon in the TV or your next couple of games. So
thank you for having us.